Welcome to the Commercial Excellence Academy by Asbiverse Group. We're all about helping organizations nail their route to shopper optimization, connecting insight, influence, and execution. Today, we're diving into a challenge that I'm sure everyone in consumer goods knows well, bridging that tricky gap between a great brand strategy and what actually happens on the shelf. We're going to use the fascinating world of pet food to bring it all to life.
You know this feeling, right? It's that moment you realize your brilliant, carefully crafted strategy, well, it's getting lost somewhere. It's like it vanishes in thin air between the boardroom presentation and the store aisle. It's a classic disconnect, and honestly, it's one of the biggest frustrations in the industry.
So, that really is the big question, isn't it? How do we fix this? How do we make sure that what we intend for our brand is what the shopper actually experiences? Well, there's a methodology designed to do exactly that. Let's break it down. Here's what we've got lined up. We'll start with the core methodology, then look at its two key parts, guide and paths. Then we'll see how it all works in the pet food sector, see how to connect strategy to the shelf, and we'll finish up with a question for you.
Okay, so what is this solution? It's called the route to shopper methodology. Now, think of it less as a rigid set of rules and more like a shared language, a framework that gets everyone on the same page, from the brand manager to the person stocking the shelves.
The best way to picture it is like two halves of a key. On their own, they're not much use, but when you bring them together in just the right way, they unlock something really valuable. In this case, it's the door to creating real value for the shopper.
The route to shopper methodology focuses on integrated shopper-based value creation, which is enabled by the Guide Paths framework. And really, at its core, this whole thing is about one simple idea, making sure every single decision is looked at through the eyes of the shopper.
And here are those two halves of the key. First, you've got Guide, which is the brand's view. It's their playbook for creating value. Then you've got Paths, which is the retailer's view, their game plan for delivering that value. When those two playbooks are perfectly in sync, that's when the magic happens. So let's dive into that first half, Guide. This is all about the manufacturer's blueprint. It's the strategic thinking that happens way before product even gets close to a store. Guide is essentially a framework for answering the most critical questions a brand has. How do we find more shoppers? How do we get them to buy more? How do we encourage them to come back more often? And of course, how do we do all of this profitably while making sure the entire team is aligned? It really is the strategic engine for the brand. All right, now for that other half of the key, Paths. This is where the brand strategy hits the real world. It's all about how retailers and other partners, like vets or groomers, execute that strategy perfectly. Paths covers the whole shebang, from how a product is presented to making sure the right products are even available. And what's really important here is that it has a dual focus. It's about getting the strategy right at the head office and making sure the teams in the actual stores can bring it to life flawlessly. This is where strategy becomes tangible. Now let's bring this to life for the pet food sector. Because look, these principles are universal, but their real power is unlocked when you apply them to a specific industry. And the pet food world, wow, it is a uniquely complex and emotional space. Think about it. For a pet parent, the buying journey almost never starts in the grocery aisle. It usually begins with a trigger, maybe a vet visit or noticing their pet's needs are changing. That kicks off a ton of research online, looking into everything from ingredient sourcing to breed-specific formulas. They're exploring specialty stores, supermarkets, online subscriptions, all before they even think about making a purchase. And this is the most important part to understand. People are not just buying pet food. They are making a health and wellness decision for a beloved member of their family. They scrutinize labels for things like human-grade ingredients, they seek out recommendations from experts like vets, and they'll even choose a brand that aligns with their personal values, like sustainability. It's an incredibly high-involvement, emotional purchase. So let's see Guide in action. A brand, using deep shopper insights, spots a growing concern among pet owners about digestive health. So what do? They develop a brand new sensitive stomach formula. See, this isn't just launching another product. It's a strategic move, directly responding to a real shopper need they uncovered.
And now, here's the perfect mirror image from the retailer's Paths playbook. Instead of just sticking that new product on a random shelf, a smart retailer creates a dedicated digestive health section. They group all the relevant products together, making it super easy for that worried pet parent to find the solution they're looking for. The brand's intent is now a reality in the store.
And that connection right there is everything.
This is where we see how putting these two frameworks together drives incredible real-world results.
Together, guide and paths connect strategy to shelf and intent to impact. This is the ultimate goal, isn't it? The brand's smart idea, to help pets with sensitive tummies, is perfectly translated into a simple, helpful experience for the shopper right at the point of purchase. That's the win.
Now there's a term for this beautiful alignment, strategic symmetry. It sounds a bit corporate, I know, but all it really means is that the brand and the retailer are speaking the same language. They're working from compatible playbooks. And when that happens, collaboration becomes easier, execution is flawless, and you earn shopper loyalty and drive serious growth.
So what could this look like in terms of the bottom line? Well, it can be pretty dramatic. When brand and retailer strategies are fully aligned like this, it's possible to see a category sales lift of something like 15%. Now, of course, this figure is just for illustrative purposes, but it really highlights the tangible commercial value of getting this right.
So, with all that in mind, let's take a moment and turn the lens back onto your own organization. Let's make this personal.
How could GuidePath's thinking change the way your organization plans, collaborates, and delivers value to shoppers? Just think for a second. Where are those gaps in your own world? Where does your strategic intent get lost in translation? And how could a shared framework like this help you and your partners finally close them?
Thanks for your engagement. We've really just scratched the surface today, but hopefully it sparks some new ideas. The real power of this framework comes alive when it's tailored to your specific business challenges.
For more details on individual modules and for custom creation, please do get in touch. Best wishes and goodbye from all of us at the Commercial Excellence Academy by Asbiverse Group.